tzaddikim within themselves, but they're mamshach, they're mishana, the mevat the hell of Hester Eilam, the mamshach gives the kutzim belt. Like the reviews always that the Medrash says Ba Avram Yitzchol Ad Avram Ha'elam Yisrael Ba'Feil Ba Avram Yitzchol Ha'ayot. So Avram wasn't the first tzaddik that ever lived. There was a tzaddik. It was Chanukah, a whole series of tzaddikim. But there they didn't have ashpa and velt. Whatever the beard is, the ashpa and velt comes in Ishgad. Then you had Avram started this Inyan tzaddikim, which are not only tzaddikim in the sense that they were gezindik and they were masakin their own Avedus Hashem. But they were mishana. They made a permanent change in Elamis. Abraham started Shnei Alafim Tayyid started with Abraham. So it was an Inyan of Shinei and Velt. But within that itself, I'm sure Chazgid Kuss and Velt. There's different dargis. There's tzaddikim. Even Klali, there's three ifan. There's tzaddikim, there's yishonim, and there's chasidach. And of them, the pasuk Yiduch Hashem Kol Ma'asech, speaking of Tziel Amshach, which that chasidach yibaruchu. Now, what's the mile of a chassid over a tzaddik? So that you repeat it again in this time. The mile of a chassid over a tzaddik in his aveda is that a tzaddik, it's also in this, that a tzaddik, stamazeh, is aveda Hashem, is the b'shvul way. Ever hiding of Vegas is the tzavkal, it's connected somehow to the mitzvahs of the tzaddik. His aveda is miyusad on his own hakarin in Gadis Hashem. And his aveda is that zucht dvekas nelikus. And there's many dargis, but that's one even. The uftub chasidacha is that the aveda l'tzera gaveh. There's no, their mitzvahs is not a part of the factor. It's only that the Eibusher's Ratzon Yumei Shehu should be in his model. They have no, they don't have their own personal mitzvahs involved in their aveda. It's not the pshat that they're looking for dveikos, they're looking for tachas habitul nelikus. It's not about them altogether. It's about the madis Ratzon Aliyah. That's re'isi bnei aliyah shebehem u'atim. There's tzaddikim which they not. That their aveda is not miyused anything. It has nothing to do with their mitzvahs, with their rotzen and sugar to be niskar of tavos. They have no. They're pelvat themselves. They don't have their own rotzen. Not even a rotzen in kedusha. Not even a rotzen and the avid tivus the nefesh kis b'tivasa the davik kashash. Their only Inyan is dur from what their Eibush do. The Eibush's rotzen. They don't have their own personal agenda. So even a kedusha they got agenda in a position. Their aveda doesn't do with their mitzvahs. That's the mile of chasidacha. They got with their aveda. But the shaila, and another Nekudim brings an arrow before that they're mahapich like chastidim. But the shaila is why for this in they need dafke chasidach. What is this mitzvah of amshach of chasidach yibaruchu dafke chasidach yibaruchu? So the Maamar before, what was the Maamar before? There's three fan of the amshach of the There's one eifan of mamshach and eifan of tzedakah, which that's tzaddikim. Tzaddikim also with lashon tzedakah. So tzedakah is that they machseir ashiyah sudah. The mamshach hazam misad amshach and olakus, which without this amshach the world is lacking. Das verstehen wir sehr gut, that if there's not Meir involved, let's say, there's just that is clear for the Hemshech. They have the mashal in the mashal the nefesh. So you have keches and nefesh, keches premium, and then you have ratzon, which is a different category of the gam we speak about ratzon. Keches, seichel amidis, there's a mitzvah besides for the nefesh. It isn't only the etzem hosa nefesh. Keches seichel is a certain kech. It's a kech haseichel. And b'shas a person is trying to figure out something. So it's not the way the nefesh is batzmusa. Is the nefesh is mislabish. And tries to figure and is mislabish in the keich haseichel and is maskul a certain inyan. So keich haseichel itself is a mitzvah shemechutz la'nefesh, and the nefesh is mislabish in this keich, right? Ratzon is not a mitzvah. It's not the pshat that there's a mitzvah mechutz la'nefesh called ratzon, and in order to want, the person uses this tool of will in order to want. Ratzon is that the nefesh is nimshach. That's what ratzon is. The nefesh kamei is drawn towards something, wants something. So there's no mitzvah of a keich which in this mitzvah the nefesh is mislabish. And the nefesh is expressing itself through a certain form. Is the nefesh kamei shehu wants it? That's a whole different meaning. Sometimes when we speak about the lakus, and that makes a massive difference. Legavi, we speak in the mashal nefesh adam. We speak about when a person understands something. That's already a shaykhis to the mitzvahs what you understand. It's already a shaykhis to the mitzvahs shebechutz. Because a person can't understand the way he wants. You understand what's the logic of the Inyan, what's the logic of this subject they're trying to figure out. When a person wants. One thing is not a prat in the Inyan. It's not that there's the logic of an Inyan, there's the emotional part of the Inyan, that it's good or bitter or whatever it is, and then there is the will of the Inyan. There's no will of the Inyan. It's the ratzon is the person's meshirah towards the Inyan. There's no mitzias of the zulas, of the davar that you're right, so there's no mitzias of that davar that you want within the ratzon. So when you speak about the nimshal, it makes a big difference. B'shas meret that there's mitzias of chacham l'mashal, unless there's mitzias of chesed l'mayla. There's chesed elim, chesed like spirit chesed. That's a certain Inyan of Chesed. That Inyan you have Digmasi also in Ivran. The fact that Mayim goes with Mayim Lamato, so that reflects the Eibish's Chesed. And the fact that Eish goes with Mata Lamato, that reflects the Eibish's Gvura. There's a certain Mitzias outside of the Pshitas of Elokus, outside of the Eibish himself, so to speak. There's a certain Tzir, a certain Inyan. It's in Elaki. It's a Keach Elaki. Every way we're going to attach it. There's a Chesed, the Eibish's Chesed, the Eibish's Gvura. And that Inyan, there's the way that Elokus is mislavish, the way he expresses himself through the idea of Chesed and Gvura. And so because of this Inyan, this Chesed and Gvura is Nimshach and Ishtashal and is Misbata in Welt. That Mayim, the fact that Mayim is here to be Gavei L'Nomoch, that's really a Ishtashal of the spirit of Chesed, the way it is in Elokus. And there's the Eish, and there's every single Mitzvah, every single Nivra. So there's a certain trait in the Nivra, that the true Mitzvah of this trait is a Gevisser Keach Eliki, which is the sherish of this trait, which is expressed within this Nivra. So then, if someone looks at the Eish, let's say, or someone looks at the Midas HaGvura, and he just sees in it, Stam as a Tikfa Tivis, Stam that fire goes Matama, doesn't see that this is rooted in the Eibishter's Gvura, so he's not seeing correctly what Chesed, what Eish is, what Mayim is. He's seeing the trait, Shalek Fishu B'Amitas. The truth of the fact that Chesed is, that Mayim is here, is Sherish is Sfiras HaChesed Atzilus. It's the fact that the Eibish has Midas HaChesed. And the true Mitzvah of water is that it's the Bitu of the Eibish HaChesed. And the Shomayim is Sapin Kvev Kel, the Shomayim is Sapin Kvev Kel. So if someone looks at Shomayim and just sees a nice blue sky, doesn't see that's the Eibish covered being this guy here. So that's Mamshech Yisrael. So the world that's a sheker. And you're not seeing the world the way it is Namitas. So that's Milach. B'shas Heipta Meir is an the fact that water is really a reflection of Midas HaChesed, that's Milach Yisrael. It's not Bashiras. That's without that the world is lacking. The fact that there's a Rotz in Loilim is the fact that it's not Meir involved. The Ein Sav V'Lekos, the Pshitas of the Eibishter, that's nothing to do with Velt. There's in the Mashal. When a person wants something, the fact that he wants has nothing to do with the Metzias HaDavar. There's nothing from the Metzias HaDavar. You understand what I'm saying? In Chachma v'Chesed, there's already a tzir in the Lukus, and the Eibush has mislavish in this tzir, and this tzir Saf Kosav becomes the shadish for the Metzias of the Nivra. Then there's another Inyan. There's the Chetzedias HaKesed, the fact that all the Bertzeni there should be above, not the way the Eibush has mislavish in a certain tzir. That Ein Sav Tfishu, all the Bertzeni and Ein Sav there should be above. So you say, if that's not Meir in the fact that all the Bertzeni there should be above, so the world is not lacking anything. Also, Ratzim, which is Chitzenius HaKesed, is also part of Milach Yisrael. Why? Because that's also negative. It's negative that the etzim, that Amitis Inyani is not because that the world expresses the Eibush's traits. Because Kach Oliver Tzeni to make a vow. That goof is also another, that the truth is the Metzias of Welt is Heitzach Ishtam and Zayin Metzias from Chacham Chesed. The true shade, the true Nikud of Hu Heitzach Metzias Elam is Kach Oliver Tzeni there should be a vow. As a Firzach Dur, the Eibush's Ratzim. And to bring God that Kol HaShechavitz Asad, whatever he wants, there's no Gdar, there's no Chesed, there's no Gvura, and there's no Ruch, there's no Gashmis. Whatever he wants goes. That goof in Yoni of Elam is to express that the Eibusher wants, and with the way he wants goes. So if the Nekudas Harotz, the Nekudas Chisenis case, it's not Meir in Velt, Velt is lacking also. Not the same way that it's Nidach Yisar, and not the same Nidach Yisar, that's Kaplan, so that's Yav Tzaddik, so that's Tzaddik. Tzaddik are Mamshech from the same case. That's Merubas and Lashon's love. Then there is Yishar, which doesn't explain exactly why. Then there is not Chitzet, there's Atik. Atik is not the way the Kus is Naifin, where he's even Reitzet, no Shaykh B'Chal in Tzitz. In the Tnu of Ratzin, so even though Ratzin is higher, the Dalt is Bull and Ratzin is Blik Bull, but the world, there's that certain diagram of Blik Bull that Bull is able to express. Through his house, whatever he wants goes. There's a Tnu of Blik Bull, a Tnu of Teike for the Eibishter, which through his house, not within the Metzias, but within the fact that whatever he wants is nothing can stop him. But then there's the Atik, which is Netek v'Nibel Mishtashel. That's Ein Sof K'mei Shubatz, Erev of Shalmali V'Shaychas, and that's a Zamishat Musig of Ein Sof, which has no Shaychas B'Chal in Metzias of Velt. The Velt can't express it at all. That's the Darga of Erev of Shalmali V'Shaychas, the Mitzvah Ein Sof, and that is that Yisharim Arnash. That Shloime Melech married before. Shloime Melech was not sure for Shalmai L'Shaychas L'Shlosh. Because Mitzad Chitzenius HaKesed, even though Chitzenius HaKesed is higher than Elam, the Elam has a Tfisas Vakam. The very fact that Elam could express the fact that that darga of big vol, that means that there is a gvul. That vol has a kidas no. Not really before. Alamai of big vol, the kesher is bein arechai. Like the Metzias Leilamis. Mashi'inkin, Mitzad, and so Shaman Mishayim Leilamis is not just talking about Bechla. Before there's a concept of vol altogether. That's Atik, which that's neutral to the Yishak. And then there is Chesed, which is Chesed bein lani bein lashir. Chesed is that's the higher Bechla than most of the people, higher than you. And that's lost. That's right there in our mission. Then Zogda that the Pasuk was that the Chasidech was whose Mamshech. Mamshech said Etzim is not the Chasidech. As Master Maamar before, two reasons why Dafke Chasidech are Mamshech Etzim. Because the Avodah of Chassid is Hechef Hazanetzis. The Tzirah Kavaya. And the second Akudah is that Chassid is that is Keches Tivim Markeres Elohim. So who is that when impossible? That's the Retzach and Amshach Hazanetzis. What do you see about the Amshach Hazanetzis? So the Maamar before, we know from the word Chasidech. Since we're dealing with Amshach, that only Chasidech are Mamshech, and Chasidech is the Nekud of Chesed, which is the Nekud of Etzim. The Mele, from dort Zetman, that Seretz like Amshach Hazanetzis. But Lepoyo, Chasidech Ibrachucha is the Parshat of the is not going on Darg, which should be Mamshech. Chasidech Ibrachucha is going on who's being Mamshech. Which word in the pasuk is made on what type of darg you're being mamshech? That's the chol yiduch Hashem kol maseh. The Chasidech yibarchucha, they're mamshech liyiduch. So where's the nigger in yiduch that we're dealing with etzim? Yiduch means a darga which there is not shaykh hasagim. Shaykh that so that's Atik is also a darga which is not shaykh hasagim. Eidin Sav is not shaykh hasagim. It's not only that the etzim is a darga yiduch. So according to what Masber the Maamar before was that who is merumas in pasuk? That is Amshach Etzim is the Lashon Chasidech. But the Chorah, the Lashon Chasidech is going on the Mamshichim, not on the Darga which should be Mamshich. So the Chorah, who in Pasuk better is about the Darga should be Mamshich, and Yiduch Hashem Kol Masech. The Chasidech, Yivarchucha that Darga Yiduch. Who says that Darga says like Amshach says? The Chorah Yiduch is Ein Tzach, so Mamshach is the Shalshon. Parshas Dvarim Imach Yitzene is it's not Shaykh Hasag. Hasag is Shaykh in Keres Pnimi. Also, with that, you can say that it's since it's in Sgal and Bel, so it's not legamri Shloime, it's not legamri moved from Gedar and Bel. And the true musik of Idah is a Inyan which is legamri mushal. But a Kaplan, so it is also Mamshach. Where is the merumas in Yiduch and doing the Amshach says? So that's like the Rebbe Ein Zachzu in this in the Inyan design. Not in the Etzem Inyan. Where's merumas in the Pasuk? So the Rebbe is saying two beer there. The first beer and the main idea in this Maamar is the second word, not the first word. You heard the Cheshvan? It says, "Vi Shloime, the Mashkosi Yiduch." Chasidech Yiduch, and it's gesagt here. But the beginning of Maamar is beginning of Maamar that the Ma'ilo Dam Shach Shadei Chasidechu Sham Shach Mag Mishin Shaykh VaSaga Leidavu Va. So the Chorah, how is that Meramas on that? So there's other camp. Meet this in Haidov with Pnimi Yisaka. Okay, so that's the thing that. That was interesting. I mean this in Haidor, I mean this in a bit of Metzias Legami. Huh? Means 45, means 46. Zeven Amorim Eted, Ba'ala Shaykh Yeshua Mashiach Ma'at. You heard about mine, Sheikh and Zadik, between the Zadik, Shem, Shublat, Sheikh Yetiyu, good, that's the Rebbe saying the Chelem. That was not saying, the Rebbe saying that he saw the Chassidus, that Amitis in Haidor is between the Zadik. Not that. That was not saying a bit, that was saying a Hezek, Hichachel is this. I'm saying that an Etesh, that an Arich Shaykh is a Shtil. And an Atik Nish. And according to what's explained earlier, that the true Musik of Atik is but I'm saying what's saying.
Good,
and what the Rebbe is being over here is to say, and not to say it's Atik. And it's not clear that the true Atik is in such a level. Is that it's yeah, but this is not, there was before, so there's Shaman Mishayim Leilamis. There was before, is that I'm never even through Bituli. Even the whole part earlier was, the regular Muslim procedures that you're saying is that in the Bitala Gvul, you can have a quarter of the Gate of Blikvul. That's only a Blikvul that has a Shaykh Blikvul. That's a Blikvul by stating them that he's not Mukvul that Gvul is Blikvul. Even some Shaman Mishayim Leilamis is before there's a concept of Gvul altogether. Which is not defined. It's not defined. His mind is not that he's mushlo from Gvul. He's not defined at all. saying it's not a pashut disaster. The Rebbe is not being murdered. You must have given The Rebbe is being mad at what Heidah. True Heidah means that there's no tenua which should capture the. Mashiach in such an is sub or sub episode tenua is it? It's a certain Inyan of air, a certain tenua, and it's a certain tenua says even though hasag or not, but there's a certain tenua and aveda which can be be'erich this Inyan. Mitzvah in Heidah thing is that means you're saying in members of Mashiach Shaykh is a still in there is a Shloime Shaykh.
Tenua and avodah means like a manitzis.
There's a certain tenua.
What is this? It's just manitzis. Some sort of shaykh.
And it's bittul. There is a darga of bittul which is behesim to this area. There's a certain darga in bittul amitzis which is behesim, which is a keli, so to speak, to this area. Shalom Shaykh said.
What's the chiluk between bittul amitzis? Bittul amitzis and
amitzis
b'chlal.
Yeah. It's not about bittul. It's not about him at all. Well, it's It's not. Dirt in the birth design is the Nekud of the Aved of Tzadikim, of Chassidim, is not a darga of bittul. Tzadikim is a darga of bittul. There's many dargas in bittul. It's not about him only. Not about his mitzvahs, and not about his bittul. It's about the Eibush Ratzon. It's not about his bittul. But there is a tnu of bittul legamri which is the essence of the Eretz Hashem Shaykh. That's what they're saying here. Saying in a saga, so there's a darga of bittul. That's the same way that bittul. There's in bittul. There's dargas in bittul asaga. That's me. I'm saying there's a certain darga of bittul asaga which relates to the Eretz Hashem Shaykh. Since the Eretz Hashem Shaykh is a certain tnu of Eitzah, it's not etzem, which etzem is the chlal beyond any gather of Iliv Afla, any Inyan altogether. But it's a certain Inyan, tachas Eitzah, tachas Hamayl, tachas Shloime. It's a certain Inyan. So there could be a certain mode which could be behesim to that. A certain heritage of bittul betachlis which could be a keli to that, which could express that. There's dargas in Dias HaShlilus. There's like Dias HaShlilus. It means there's a certain darga of bittul asechel betachlis. Al derech, I'm not saying that this is correct. Al derech, Al Rebbe says in Tanya, the guy, Eimer al chochem erom v'amuk Hashem shamash shabeda. What does Al Rebbe say? I mentioned it. I'm just saying that musig of bittul. You have one ifin is Yisrael Yisrael Shavot Yisrael that the seichel is aklein izah. And the gabit, the einza of the lakus, seichel is gvul. The Eibush is blikvul. So seichel kenesh teva zayin the blikvul. That's the regular. So the seichel is bottle. The seichel kenesh teva zayin ha'im. The leis machshav tisabir. Seichel cannot be tevas in the blikvul of the lakus. But Al Rebbe says in Tanya, the Eimer al chochem is a tifri. Al Rebbe is saying that when saying leis machshav tisabir, why doesn't make sense? It's a joke. To say leis machshav tisabir is a joke. It's Eimer al chochem v'amuk that you can't touch it. You can't hold it in your hands. So someone's going to say, in the fact that you can't touch seichel, it's not nishbing in that seichel. The whole concept of misha doesn't exist in seichel. No, that's not bad. I'm trying to bring up just this musik. What I'm saying, there's a musik of Inyan. Inyan is not what the Rebbe is saying to us. The Rebbe is in which Maamar is. Which Maamar is the Rebbe touches this. The Rebbe touches this. In Shuli Yisrael, Lamed Zayin, the second Maamar. The Rebbe touches in the order that what the Rebbe says is not that the Gvul is Shloime erich lower than the people. It's a different word. There's one thing you say is that the Eibush is Ein Sof and Seichel is Gvul, but Meil Gvul legabe blikvul is Bein Arech. It's an unbridgeable gap. Blikvul and Gvul. That's nish das. Then it's not a joke. It's true that the Eibush is blikvul, and Gvul has no tfis in blikvul. That's true. That is just a joke to say that. Yeah, the Bill said that when Baruch were building the sukkah, Baruch asked, "What's the Shiur of the Reichel of the Mechitza?" So Tzvicha Baruch had to geantfert the Shiur is Tirke de Dibur. So all the Baruch started laughing. Well, what's the joke? That's a joke. See, Shloime mini ini b'chol. It's not the pshat that this is much lower than that. It's not low. It's not a question of lower and higher. It's not a meshech of a shetach and Tirke de Dibur is Tzibas in the Reinan. So there's no shaykhs one time. But there is someone that said, "Leis machshav tfisa they salitzons." You're not in the same direction. You say he's beyond the limitations of seichel. The whole concept of seichel doesn't exist. It's not you're saying he's beyond the concept of mishush. The concept of mishush doesn't exist in seichel. Nishtah is a chetan avar seichel. So when you say that he's such a tifus svara, the kenes nishomash is. It's not the pshat he didn't express well the midas seichel. Mishush has nothing to do with the world of Seichel. See, a Svarda Amuka, why is a Svarda Amuka not expressed with the fact that you can't hold it in your hands? Because he says something too small? Because the whole concept of Mishush doesn't exist in this element of Seichel. It's like a stirtnish there. In Seichel, there's no Mishush. There's no square, there's no touching a Svarda. So it's out there like someone's going to say that what's the Eidach of a certain Shetach, you say it's not a question, it's a joke. You're connecting things that don't collect the clock. Out there is touching, holding, and a Svarda have no connection with clock. So what's the issue when someone says that it's such a deep Svarda you can't hold it in your hands? What's the issue with that? That he's not expressing the depth of the Inyan, or he's attaching to Musag which have no connection with Allah. So Al Derech said there is one if you say the Eivish is believe Gvul and Seichel is Gvul. And he's mufshit from Gvul. So it's correct to say that he's mufshit from Gvul. There's a concept of Gvul, and the Vas Bashtet, the Ein Sab, the Gvul, that he's mufshit from Gvul. So in Vas Bashtet, the Svarda Amuka, that is mufshit from the Tfisa of a Adam Kat. It's shaykh to say. Or shaykh to say in Vas Bashtet, the Edelkeit of a voice, that you can't touch it. That's begetter to say, because in them Bashtet, the Edelkeit of a voice, that it's untouchable. So the concept of touching is shaykh by voice. A voice is able to have physical pressure that every way it works. So the concept exists there. You're saying that this, but it's beyond the confinements of this. Mash'eg in Mishish and Seichel, it's not the question that a Svarda Amuka is beyond the confinements of touch. So it's a joke. So when you say Leisam Shadid, the Alter is saying, he's saying about the the whole concept of Seichel doesn't exist. So that's a different type of Vidya Sashlit. Vidya Sashlit is not that the whole gather of Seichel is bad. It's a different gather of Vidya Sashlit. You understand what I'm saying? The regular Vidya Sashlit is not that the whole concept of Seichel bear place. The bitl of the whole, that the Hergish bitl of the whole gather of Seichel doesn't exist. There's the Hergish bitl is that Seichel, Sidar gather from Seichel. Seichel is a whole. And the Eivish is beyond the Hagbolus of Seichel. Not that there's no concept of Seichel. He's beyond Hagbolus. And there's another type of Vidya Sashlit, where the whole gather of Seichel is bad. So, but that's a different type of Vidya Sashlit. Is that what I'm saying? And that's, I was also saying that the Dakos, that's what ich umgriff for the Shaykh Stasar. But it's a whole different gather. But it's a certain Tnua which could be a keli to that type of, to the innovative itself. A certain type of bitla seichel, a different gather of bitla seichel, the gam. I'm saying, imagine someone has a heritage that the Alter says in Tanya that the gabi alakus seichel is like mishish. So that's a regular idea. I'm saying a person has the gabi alakus seichel is mamish, is b'shav mamish to touching his foot. That's a really different diet. God, I'm saying a different. Is that sense, and under Inyan. Priyam is higher than any Tanua. It's a different story. Priyam Sadik is bittul again is also not as in. Bittul is a certain hafla, a certain word. Priyam Sadik is everything. There's only him. Priyam Sadik is nothing. He's a very high entity. He's no high. There's him and everything that exists is him. It's different in Ilagami. It's not a high entity. It's another Zak. We're saying that he's a Zak, but he's a Zak, that the whole gather of Seichel doesn't exist. Not that he's beyond the limitations of Seichel. There's certain Metzias exist. So no, nothing. But we're saying Etzem is another Zak. Etzem is only him. How is this him? There's no how. The whole concept of how and what and when, that whole Vaspara certain Metzias doesn't exist. And that's what we're saying. There's only him, and everything is him. It's a different Inyan. How do we get into this? This is what you wanted to tell us. Okay, so this is one beer. But this beer, self-concept, is not amitis. They're saying that amitis in Raidah, but Pasha Sadvar. You say the regular Rusik of Raidah, Shaykh, the Rebbe Shoshma, Shaykh, the Shaykh, so then like the Rebbe Tzuk, Gami Shloime, which is maybe the main idea in this Maamar. Iker Achidish, B'Yiduch Yivarchuchu, who not the Yiduch HaBe'emes is going against Shoshma, Shaykh, the Shaykh, but Yivarchuchu, that's the deal. To be mamshach of the kusna, if in a bracha, the amitis in a bracha, shaykh is dafke by etzim. That's what the Rebbe is talking about. Hamshachas of the kusna, said the Rebbe Mamshach of the Shlashal is the amitis in it cannot be with that bracha. The true reality of the bracha. Why? So there is what's the deal though? Hainish Hamshach, the Rekuda bracha is that's the Rechemel. That's the Rekuda bracha.
What do you say the Rekuda bracha?
Here the Rebbe is saying the true Muslim. What's the ma'ila of bracha? The Rebbe said before that is with the Rechvados. Tefillah, you're not sure. The bracha is with the Rechvados. Bracha is also with the Rechtzibur. Why? Because he's a balabais, he's higher than him. The male is so bracha. There's no. It's certain that the Inyan is going to be nimshach. So the Rebbe is saying here that midas Inyan that it's nimshach, the derech vados, and derech hamel is not by the nekuda tefillah is that you have to affect it. That's the uftan. And by brach is derech hamel.
What were we going last night is the fact that everybody's in the Torah, because we're here talking about Inyan, not Inyan bracha. You know, bracha was has my little Torah, the middle of the Gami, not even in Torah.
I'm saying the regular bracha.
The regular bracha, the Torah is in Torah. The regular kuda bracha is talking in
The
Torah.
Rebbe is speaking a different nekuda. The Rebbe is saying bracha in the sense that
Is that the particular bracha? I'm trying to put it in the puzzle.
before you said that what do you see in bracha? The bracha is in derech hamel.
The tzaddik is tired. He can be gazing to the thing come down.
Well, what's the word of that? That he doesn't. That the tzaddik doesn't have to. He's hired. There is not much different nekuda here. What's the word of the tzaddik? You see, if someone owns, you have 3 apples next to you. I don't have to. So you say I don't have to. If I've garnished uftan, I can give the apple. I don't have to create anything. The tzaddik, you say this is a different knesh word that wasn't mentioned before. The Maamar. We're saying is that what the word of the way we're looking at it is uftan. Saying the pasha said what's the word of bracha must be? Tefillah is you don't have the. You're asking the Eibush to do your bracha is the tzaddik. He say someone has $1 in his pocket. And it's my dog, I can do whatever I want with it. So that when I'm taking it out of my pocket and giving it to someone, it's a pu'ula. The option, he has that option already. That option is here. You understand what I'm saying? He has the efsharis milchatchila to do it. There's no new thing happening here. But chatchila is he can do whatever he wants. There's no chiddush. By tefillah, the fact that etzel lukus is a person which is asking it has no access to it. That is ufta. But sheikh b'bracha, you can do whatever you want. So if the tzaddik says, I want that this Inyan, derech, like a person has the gashmis, he's like, we're not not gil, it's a bet for him, you can give it to him. So Ushasi gives it to him. Something was accomplished here, he had to do something, or he has the option of to give them. So what's happening is just the outplaying of a factor that already exists. You're not doing something new. Because the ability to give and the ability to give whatever he wants, he already had it. So the giving itself is just the bitsua, is just, they say, something which is already here is being developed. You see what I'm saying? So they're never saying that midas in a bamsha, and that's the ma'alav, that is the remaining. You don't have to affect the amsha. In the mashli you don't have it the tablets. I'm saying with the Rebbe's here what the remaining means. But Paul by regular you don't have this ma'alav over the remaining bamsha. But that's the ma'alav of the tefillah. The ma'alav is that you don't have to accomplish anything. The tzaddik has access to this chayes sheidish of this person's neshama, and he has the yechelis, the tzaddik. So b'shas is being mitzvah, he's just materializing an afsharis that he had before. It's not the chayes. That's the ma'il of bracha. That's the chamel. That's taken the Rebbe Shiur wasn't mentioned before. And in the midas in the afsharis will kusim vel in the eifler. The chamel is not b'shas meretik and afsharis says. Says the kuda bracha is the chamel. The chamel is the word is the etzem is the chamel. The chamel means no new thing has to occur. The afsharis that he had before is materialized. That's not called that you do sukkot and sanais. No, I'm saying it's just when you be the Rebbe before. The Maamar earlier that Goshe, the Maskan of the Maamar, the Ma'il of Bracha was that the Mavarich is miyuch the Luchos. Here there is a different approach. The Ma'il of Bracha what is that the Amshah. You don't have to create Amshah. I'm saying a person has $1 in his pocket. If he wants, he doesn't give it, and if he wants, he does give it. When he is giving it, something new is happening. He has to affect something new. He had the ability before to give it too. He's just materializing one of the options that he had. Nothing new is happening here. The prayer mamish giving is just unfolding. And afsharis that he had earlier is unfolding itself. That's the ma'al of derech hamel. The Rebbe is saying here that to be mamshach of the kusim vel from even of derech hamel. Every other amshach is medafar b'skufta. That's the Rebbe saying. Every other amshach of the kusim vel, you're not just unfolding something which already exists. That's the b'skufta. You're just being megala what exists. The true inyan of just being megala what exists and not affecting anything is that by amshach zez. That's the question. not the true derech hamela. What does it mean derech hamela? You're accomplishing something. You're affecting something. True derech hamela is that nothing has to happen. You're just discovering a fact. The chlol is by every bracha you have discovering a fact. Because theoretically speaking, the option you had before. Anytime someone's giving, you have this pocket something, you're giving it. The giving is not creating it. The option that was there was now came to play. And so that's the Ma'ila bracha. That the Agon Shuftan. And that Inyan of Agon Shuftan is the derech hamela is the mitzvah Inyan of that Inyan is not by Mshachas Pa'etza, not by Mshachas, even the Erech Yom. And that's going to be the Arichas Abir now. So you said it, I'm saying, could it is, the mitzad, you have to, that's not touching that mitzvah. Sure, you can say the Ikar Dechas Dechas. Yeah, the Ikar, but even clearly you have the Inyan. They get, let's keep it saying. I'm sure they know actually, and you know, can't say they can be short. So here the Rebbe is saying that the Chlog was, Haydo is even if it's any Sekes Hashem Haydo, because it's higher than Chacham, higher than Shlashos. So because even Tzadikim are Mamshech from Haydo, from hearing so. Kimash Gam Ayre Kosh, it's any Tzadik Mam, Nish Tzadik, Nish Tzadik, Nish Tzadik, what Elo, Sham Shech, and Ayre, it's any Tzadik, in Kumayim B'derech Pula. Because that Mashtik was Nimshach. It's a Pula. Even though the Eir is inside. But it's Kumayim B'derech Pula. Das für der Eir ist Nimshach in Welt, it's an Eir of a Pula, Double Chodesh. Mitis in der Gemele, that I'm sure we said. Saying the Etzim, the Rebbe Shigret Maamar before, but in this, to bring it out within this cup, before the Rebbe when they get to Birur, 3 or 5 Birur, Mavatal, the Mekabel, the Menagid, Chetchil doesn't exist, or there's only him. Here, it's within being Mamshach Alakus Welt. Is there Epis Pa'ula happening, with Epis Uftan, or there's no accomplishment of anything?
What were the issues last time?
The Rebbe spoke this, that's in the Gabi being Mevatel the Nagid. 3 if I'm being Mevatel the Nagid. Or you're misgat, or the Misad the big ball the Elden the Nagid is Misvatel. Or the Gabi the Elden there is no Menagid. But and then there's another thing, not the Gabi there's only him. Not that the Gabi the Elden there's no Menagid. There's only him. But the Rebbe Nishgeret and they get that's what everything's in Ratzin the time. Because each target I'm verstehen how Bechlolos the Musik Bracha Shaykh by even by Chetzenis get the Shaykh Musik Bracha. But the Mitzvah Inyan is not the B'Hem Shem says. It's very clearly, yeah, we'll see. Just to bring out, you were saying in the Pasha just to use the thing I was saying before, like this word of Tehula and just to, if it's not in the same line, just to bring out, if you say the Moshe when you get to regular case of the Zelum Azal the Seichel, the Kedushal, Uma Seichel, the Uma. So in order to say, to prove the Nefesh Bahamas, Al Pi Seichel, that the Eibishter doesn't do that, that's the Pula. The Elyon and the Tachtan are Be'erev Zalazeh. So the Santam Shaddam said the Elyon, the Me'el, the Tachtan doesn't exist. He has to be like that's Mamish the Pula. Where even inside the Gilead Elyon, the Tachtan still exists. The Santam Shaddam Elyon is gone, Tachtan Be'erev. So Tachtan Be'erev stays, but that's Sufta. The fact that the Seichel, the Nefesh Elokis understands that the Eibishter is Emes, that's not going to be with their Chamele, Vivalas, Yeder, Versteht, it's with their Chamele, the Makabos, it's not with their Chamele. You have to explain, you say, we're not a Talmud. You have to explain the Talmud. You should understand like the Rav Svar, the Talmud Seichel is Mitzvahs. And the fact that, so the Rav understands it, but the Rav Svar, the fact that the Rav understands it, that's Mubbo. In order for the Talmud to understand it, you have to explain him. So that's Mamash Derech Pula. Then there is something else. Instead of the big wall, the Elyon Tachlis is back. So if you consider that the word of the Chamel, but that is Ufta. Mitzad the Elyon is big wall. When it's big wall, it's Meir will be this back. So you need to hear up some more takas that can musik about what Derech Pula means. That's the Kav Klov. That's what the Inyan is.
There's that difference between the Chamel and the basic place.
It's not just, we'll see this Hadgosh we didn't have the Maamar before. There the vart at the end, the Maamar of Bad Shalom was that's the Amitis and Tziyas of the Tachta. But mainly you don't need to see, you say that the vart of the Chamel is, that's not the Rebbe's Hadgosh, the Rebbe's Hadgosh there is it, that's the Tziyas of Tachta. Okay, we'll see it the way it's working this way. Yeah, these are not a little bit, this whole Sif, the Rebbe brings it a few times, but this adds an Inyan, but it's yeah, we said before. What's the Pasha Chilton Geches Premium and Ratzim Etayim? The Nemesh is an Atzma. The other is a Tanya. Is Pasha to Mushit Mikol Tzir. The Nemesh is not a Mahus Mukderes. It's not Seichel. It's a Mahus, which is Mufshit in the Sir Brot. However way we're going to define this, the Etzem Ani of the person, the Etzem I of the person, the Nefesh itself. Then there's Geches. Seichel, Midas, that's all Tziurim Pratim. Chachma, Bina, Das, Chesed, Word, Feres, which Nemesh is Slavish in these Tziurim Pratim. That's Keches Premium. Shaken Rotzen, the time of Rotzen is the Nevesh Kamesha who is Nimsha. It's not the way the Nevesh is Mitzuntzim with the Eretz and the Kaplan. The Rotzen Kamesha, the Nevesh Kamesha who is Nimsha. So, there was a conclusion of Rotzen Tanuk, who Pula said Rotzen by Keches by Yibar with their Shlita. Later he goes to, maybe we'll just bring this, just that much clear, so we'll make it clear. In Beifin Kali, when you have, let's say there's a Talmud, you speak about two different people. You want to have Ashpa, an Elgin wants to have Ashpa on the Tachta. The Tachta is one Muhus, the Elgin is a different Muhus. And you want to have Ashpa, you want your Inyan to affect the Tachta. So there's two ways of doing it. Or you have to bring your Inyan in a way that the Tachta should be able to grasp it. The Rav wanted the Talmud to understand the way that the Rav understands. So the Rav is going to have to be in Tzamtzim Eseichel and be masbert in a way that the Talmud should be able to be taifis. If the Rav is going to say his svara be versteht, the Talmud won't, the Talmud's Metzias won't change, won't be affected by it. Because the Rav's verstanden, the Talmud is different man. So in order for the Klei HaMekabel to be mishtana according to the Ashpa of the Rav is going to have to be mitzamtzim himself. And to explain the svara in a way that the Talmud is able to relate it and to grasp it. Once the Talmud understands it, he understands it. In that Eifin, so the alien, the mile of that Eifin is that once the Taftan gets it, the Taftan got it. He understood the svara. And he's taking Mishtan. He absorbed within himself the Seichel. But now the alien, he didn't, it's not the alien Kameshahu. What's Nimshach in the Taftan is the alien in the ways the ways Shaykh to the Taftan, the ways Mitzunzim according to the Gather of Taftan. It's not his Galas alien Kameshahu. Then you have another Eifin is where the alien is Misgala Kameshahu. But in that Eifin, you can have Eifin with the alien, but since the alien is Gala Kameshahu, the alien is higher, the Taftan cannot grasp the alien. There's another thing. You have such a genre where let's say an Adam Ve'evet. So the Adam doesn't have to explain the Evet, why he has to do Kach. He says, and the Adam is Balabas on the Evet. Balabas means, regardless whether it's Masim with your Kalim or not, I'm in charge. I'm the boss. I'm the authority. So if Kach Oliver Tzeni of the Adam, the Evet is Muchrach to do with the Adam. So in such a case, the alien in the case where the alien is the Balabas of the Tachtan, the Tachtan is bottled to that. In the case where the alien is the Balabas of the Tachtan. So in such a case, the alien does not have to be mitzamtzim himself to give over his Inyan behesim to the Tachtan. The alien can become a Shiur, and the Tachtan is his body. But in such a case, the Tachtan is bottled, but not that his Metzias is the Tachtan. That's the Barpash. The Tachtan is bottled, but Zayn Metzias is nicht Tachtan. So that's the reason. The Pulas are making Shas a mensch will azah. A person is tired, let's say, but he wants to keep himself up. So let's say the gather of the Metzias Aguf is the Guf gets tired. And let's say the Seichel gets tired. The Seichel is Lubish the Meir. So the Keches Pnimi, which are Lubish Pnimi in the Guf, they have certain Gdarim. One of the Gdarim is when a person faces after a certain amount of hours, it's a Getish. But Rotzen is a Keach type. If the Rotzen doesn't have these like boldness that he's tired, when a person wants something, there's no Ayekos won't make a difference, let's say. So the Ratzin and the Ratzin is shouted on all the Eibar. Other things, Mashal that is not every Kayach has a schuna that it's shouted on other Eibar. Even Meir shouted on the Meir, it's not true Muslim. The only way for the heart, for the person to have an Abed, it has to be nirgash believed that one is a It's not so passionate as Muslim Shlit. Shlit, you have any part in Ratzin. Eba mensch vil azah, regardless whether the Kayachas are catered to this Inyan or not. But if a person wants something, so the Keichas are gonna act according to the Ratzon wants. See, even though the Mech Tzadasmi is tired, the person faces his body is Shamater. If Ervil Azach, he's gonna function even though he's tired, and he's gonna go for it because Ratzon is Shabbat. Not because the Guf wants it, not because the Guf is or the Pashta Dugman Chassidus. A mensch can say if you want to put your foot in boiling hot water, Mitzad the Ratzon is Shevet on the Yevar. If a person understands that Seichel, he wants to put his foot in hot water, it's going to work. If he has a Ratzon for it, so the Ratzon is Shevet on the Eivar. Even it's not comfortable for the foot to put itself into boiling hot water and burn itself. Or it's Heipach, let's say, the Teva of the foot to put himself in boiling hot water. If If Ervil, Ratzin is Shalit, and if he wants, regardless whether the Evarim agree with it or not, they're bundled to the Ratzin. If you want, they obey. They surrender to the Ratzin. They're bundled to the Ratzin and Shalit. So as Ervil as they bet as but if they're a Shlita, you're not going to say that the Yad is now, the Yad is bundled to the Ratzin. It's different Inyan. So Shlita is Shilta.
So Shlita when it's against Teva?
If the Yad, something which is together, he wants it, so then it's not
the fact where your hands is moving because of the
truth is that it's a part of Shlita.
Why?
Because why is the Yad being? Because the Ratzin does not even mischashiv with that. The Yivarim on Chatchila bottle to the Ratzin. The Ratzin is a Shabbat. The Ratzin is a Shabbat on the Yivarim. If all the word Tzeni l'nanei yadi is l'nanei yadi. Without, and the Yad is not, the Yad is bottled to the Ratzin. It's not the Pshat, it's not like an Eved for two different things that the Eved has to remember that he's bottled to the Ratzin. The Yad is bottled to the Ratzin. The Ratzin is Shabbat on the Yad. If a person that Pesechel wants something, it's not going to be the Rechamela that the Yad's going to be Menaneh because your Svar is set to be Menaneh. If all the word Tzeni l'nanei, it happens automatically because the Yad is bottled to the Ratzin. The Ratzin is Shalit, he's the Balabas, he controls them. But controlling doesn't mean that the Tachten Vert does it, the Tachten Vertish does it. See, I'm just bringing this thing, if you say a person's going to function, Mitzad Geder Aguf, he has to sleep, let's say, 8 hours a night. Mitzad Teva Guf. Mitzad Ratzin, he's going to function, Shalek Fiyam Eschayim Mitzad Teva Guf. And it's again, because the Ratzin is Shalit. But it's not going to, but Lepoil, Teva Guf, was Mishtan. You're not going to say that his Teva Guf was Mishtan. His Guf was Mishtan. Mitzad him, what Gedav Zayin Beifen Acher, but he's bottled to the Ratzin. It's a different story. It says, who is Ratzin Bakir Zayvon with their Shlita? Han Shaker Zayvon can mitzad Atzmam in the Sh'ardim B'tinu K'mesha Yukayim. El Sharatzin Sheilat Ali. Umachriach Esim Shiyik Fiyar Ratzin. Hei B'chat HaMishalom. That's when they get to us. Then there's a Pulish Nazis Bakir Zayvon, an idea of timing. They're saying timing is a whole different meaning. Just in Dugman Shulchan, I don't know if it's an accurate Dugman, I'm not saying this is that Shulchan state that Shabbos and Mitzvah Enig. I'm just saying just the Dugman Baum. Shabbos and Mitzvah Enig Shabbos. That's it. States can't tell me in Darton which they were. I remember who, but they didn't need a Shabbos because for them fasting is Enig. Or if someone time is holding, so if it's the same as an Enig, he doesn't have to fast. So you can have one Eifin al Derech Ratzin where a person is at Teva Gufa, he wants to eat, let's say, and his body needs food. It's at Teva Gufa. But it's at Derech Ratzin, he doesn't want to eat. He doesn't want. Not that he's misani from nothing. Not that his timing is the fast. Not that his timing is to refrain himself from eating. He doesn't want to eat. It's Hebecharatz. So the pile, the goof will feel the pain. The goof wants it's going to subjugate itself to the Ratz. Then that's going to be also B'Shabbos. If the fact that he's not eating because he doesn't want to eat, that's Isur Tanis B'Shabbos because you're breaking your keches. You're controlling them. But they're not, but mitzad their teva, they would, that's what is gewollt, this Inyan. Masha'ik tiny the pshat is that when a person, his pleasure is not to eat, so then it's not with the kfir. Then the goof is tiny from the fact that he's not eating. It's not with the shulti. That's their gishmak. I'm just saying the dugma and the Rebbe is actually different. I'm just saying the cause the example. You could have something being done, shalek fiyam mischayim mitzad the teva yibar. You could have two keches, or that mitzad the teva manzach anders. But even though mitzad the teva manzach anders, lepoil they're forcing themselves to be one. Or it's not a term of forcing yourself to be one. The koyach gufa now is Davish to be in such a. So in the dugma, if someone is doing something that he enjoys, you don't feel tired before. There's one if you feel tired, but because you want to stay up, if you want, you're gonna push yourself. Then if someone is doing something that has a geschmack in it, and the geschmack is not mukbal in hours or these things, you won't feel that he's tired. It's a different Inyan. That's al-derech. I'm not saying that's al-derech what they were saying here. Ratzin doesn't have the koyach that the tachten should. The tachten is broken. He's like a bottle. But it doesn't look poil. Even though Yisha showed that he's bottle, mitzad his mitzias manzach b'samish. Masha'ik in Tainu is not the pshat that the Tainu overrides or controls the ibar. He's their chayis. He's their mahut. He's their chayis. He's their gishmak. So, if Shas, there's something which the nefesh, there's the Tainug nefesh is mulu b'shamot. I mean, it's a Tainug nefesh manzach Tainug nisuzah. It's a Tainug nefesh manzach learning, let's say. His gishmak is to learn. So then it's not going to feel that it's mayach. Then it's going to be the mayach's gishmak. The mayach's chay is to learn. It's not the heck is not that he's breaking himself. He's going to learn beyond how much the klei mayach are mitzadat. So together mayach mitzadat atzmai, the chveis is going to have to get tired after 2 hours. Let's say. But mitzad the gishmak, he's going to live for 5 hours, but he's not going to feel that he's breaking himself. That's its Gishmak. The Meir Kuf is going to have time. See, the Rebbe saying is Apus Naz Bakir is about the Taina, Kimish Taina, previous Chayes, Bakir is Yavan Ansman, Lachin Apulish Naz about the Taina. See, what's the Rebbe say here? Taina, in other words, there's 2 darkest in the Nefesh. We're talking about the Nefesh, not Keches Kim Nefesh. There's the Nefesh the way it is, Mufshas from Keches. So there's one darkness is the Ratzna Nefesh. He wants something. Then there's another thing. The Nefesh has, see, what's a Kochtza? What's the time of the Nefesh? I'm not saying in a specific thing. That's the Mashal times Chom wasn't accurate Mashal, just I'm said it as a Mashal. But everything over here is the way Ratzna is put. The Teva Dvarim is that Ratzna is Shelat and all Keches. That's one thing. Then there's time that is not Shelat and all Keches. All Keches are Mushish in time. The previous of all Keches are time. Why does a person have Seichel? Or what's the previous of Seichel? That's Mitzat Tainig HaNefesh, that's why you have Seichel. The purpose of why a person has all his Keches is, Sof Kol Sof, Mitzat, to be Meisif in his life, to be Meisif in his Tainig HaNefesh. That's what I'm saying. The Keches are Mushish in Tainig HaNefesh. It's their Chayes. I was saying the Mois of someone that has a pleasure from a specific thing. So when a person has a pleasure from a specific thing and he's focused on that pleasure, so he won't be margish the Mocham. The Rebbe is saying a different story. There is the Keches Makifim the Nefesh is Ratzon and time. So Ratzon is the Tuna that the Nefesh is Deirish something. He wants something. Then there's another Tuna is there's in was besteht sein Geschmack. In was kocht is it? It's a hard thing to exactly be. But every Nefesh has in was besteht sein level. Where is Chayes is? Where is Geschmack is? You know what I'm saying? Not you say I'm enjoying this piece of clothing. That's not the person's. See, nicht in dem besteht der Menschen's level. When people enjoy the tongue, say a person's the pe'agashmi, where like a person that people play with things in their hands, it also makes them feel good. That's not kind of an energy that we're speaking about. Every Eber's never protein, it has things that make it feel good. Nicht making them netza. A person understands a svar, it makes it feel good also. Nicht making them netza. There's the Ratzon HaNefesh, and then there is the time of the Nefesh. There's what the Nefesh, what's this Nefesh's Geshmak? What's its call? What's its life? Is that what I'm saying?
Isn't it the Teva Dvarim before was talking out of Kli for this? But time is Megala, but that's a bit.
What I'm saying is, but before we speak about this, how this time expresses itself, there's everything the Yachas of Keach HaRatzon to other Keachas, the Yachas of time to other Keachas. So the Yachas of Ratzon is not their most. The Inyan of the Keches is not to fulfill the person's Ratzon. Saying that's not what's in Inyan of Seichel. Inyan of Seichel is to understand. He's bottled to the Ratzon Nevesh. The Ratzon Nevesh is the control of everything. The way you want, that's the way you're gonna. That's a tchun in the Keach Ratzon is a balabas Keches. That's their relationship with the Ratzon. The relationship is not that he's there, that their Inyan is him. Their Inyan is not him. Their Inyan is Seichel. And the Ratzon is their shalut. It's a different story. Whatever the Nefesh wants is the Kaya. And then there's what the Nefesh wants, the Ratzon Nefesh, they're gonna function according to the Ratzon Nefesh. They're bottled to the Ratzon Nefesh. But then there's the Taineg Nefesh. What the Nefesh's Geshmak, and what's its koch, what's its life. Like with that, it's not the Yachas of Taineg to the Keches is not that Taineg is the Balabas, that they're gonna function according to the way he enjoys, the way according to his Geshmak. That's their Inyan. In Yonam HaPnimi of the Keches is to bring out Taineg HaNefesh.
This Ratzon doesn't come from the Ratzon of yours. It doesn't come from the TBS person.
That I'm saying is there's Bechlal. Ratzon.
So like we say the Ratzon from after Ben, right? Timing. That's timing. We say after Ben after the Ratzon now focus to the Ratzon he has to the sun.
Yeah, I don't know which. There's different Lashem. I don't know.
That's who he is.
I'm trying to say. I'm saying is there's the midden of the Nefesh. There's Keches. The reality is, if a person understands something, it's not by definition, by nature. If a person understands that kach v'kach, it's not gonna force his Keich HaHiluch, let's say. A person's lazy, his foot is tired. You understand that you have to walk. You can decide to walk, that's something else. The Keich HaSeichel doesn't have a shlit to move over your foot. Masheg and Ratzon is shared on the Keches. Different story. The Ratzon by definition is in control. It's not like an Eved v'Adam that the Eved wants, he's be made in the That's the Teva Advarim, the Ratzon is a Shabbat. the keiches are bottled to the Ratzon HaNefesh. So the yachas of the keiches of the Ratzon is the Nefesh Kameshu Mufshit from keiches. And so what's the yachas? But the way he wants, that's the way they're going to function. But it's not that the way he wants, that's their Inyan. Their Inyan is Seichel. And Ratzon is not their Inyan. The Ratzon is beyond them, higher than them. It's the Teikef HaNefesh, that's it. The Pshit is HaNefesh. But the way he wants, they're bottled to. They're gonna obey what he wants. Not b'derech achlot. That's the teva advar. The keiches are bottled to the Ratzon. Mashegin tainig hanefesh. There's something called tainig hanefesh. Not that this one. When someone is drinking some orange juice and he enjoys it, that's not tainig hanefesh. That's your tongue feels good at that moment. That's what I'm saying. When there's tainig hanefesh is aderech yisei Ratzon. There's a darg in the nefesh which, not that the nefesh is nimshach v'deirish to something. There's in baz bashtet his mahus. What is his life? What's his geschmack? What's his chayes? The truth is, what's the yachas of the keiches to the tainu? The mahus of seichel is not some a faculty to understand, a keich to understand. The mahus of seichel is, in order to be great in tainig and nefesh, to be meisif in the geschmack and to contribute to the life of the nefesh. What's the mahus of seichel? Mahus of seichel is tam as a keich that the person should use when he wants, or the mahus of keich seichel is in order to contribute to the life of the person, in order to be basic time in the person. Is that what I'm saying?
So it's probably the good thing.
No, that's not that kosher. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when someone, let's say, in simcha kataras asrikas, but the Rebbe is not speaking over here that there's a keich haseichel, let's say, as a keich for itself. The same way, if someone smells it's a good reach, so let's say it's great and nachasruah. That's the teva yivarim. If the aver is not locked, the person's going to lock his hands. He's being makbos keich hatnuah. If your keich hatnuah is able to function freely, so that's kind of for the keich hatnuah. That's something else. What I'm speaking over here is that every keich has saying that it should feel good, it should function well. Saying there's the darg of tainig hanefesh. There's the pnimius hanefesh where in bas bashtet his what's his life. And the keiches stem, what the yachas of the keiches to the person's previous event. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about the pshitas nefesh. The same way, there's the nefesh itself, not a keich prati. There is I want, and then there is what kach is it? What the mahus nefesh? What's its kach? The previous nefesh, which is also kosher, mushus t'matzir prati. What's his kach? And what's bashit zayin geshmak? You see what I'm saying?
How does that connect to the kid?
And that's their most, they're here, their Inyan Apnimi is to fulfill that time again, to fulfill that code. Ratzon is also a keich, is a person could want, it could be deirish to, which are not you. Then there is, in Bas Bashtet your life. Bas Bashtet Zayin Geshmak, Bas Bashtet his code.
Give a big one.
See what I'm saying is, I'm trying to figure out is, we're not dealing with, did I ever say that there's keiches Pnimi? And then there is the mahus hanefesh. And within that itself, there's two dargahs. There's the Ratzon hanefesh, the nefesh ways misbatan and tnuah of being kodesh. He's able to want. And then there is in Vasar licht, his mahus kshel atzma, his geschmack. Not that he's not this keich to be kodesh, his keich to want and his drive. Not his drive that he's able to be kodesh. In Vas kachtas, in Vas leftet. I'm saying it's a simple, I'm not saying it's accurate, I'm saying, let's say someone's machloek. But his Inyan in life is to be there in the face, he's dedicating his life and his whole chayis in, I don't know what people are, you don't understand what I'm saying. Someone's dedicating his life for a certain thing. He's going to face this person is sein ganzer Geschmack ist wie Prinzip für Hashem, let's say. Die Gemeinde hat Scheich in dieser Allianz und wir schauen voneinander über die ganze. No, I was thinking so his whole, that's his whole Geschmack. That's his whole life, and then Kaplan. That's his whole life. Not because Apiseichel, Apiseichel gave the recognition that that's Apiseichel. Then there is, someone found in Bas Bashtet sein Tainig hanefesh. What his life is about, what his geschmack is about. And then all the seichel is for the sake of his life. What's the seichel there for? It's a second. The seichel is there in order for the person's life to be enhanced, in order for the person's life to be better. That's its Inyan. What's Inyan of Kovetz seichel? To be a misharis to the nefesh adam, to the person's geshmak.
But is there a seer nefesh which is not massive, how it is inside time? Is it? Are you mean by kind or something? Is it a
What I'm
Chumash
saying
Davar?
is, if you have a question, there's a certain, what I'm saying is, I'm trying to compare it to the same time. There is a basic kind of a tiny which is in the pair for the tzir. Saying is, a person drinks a cup of apple juice, he feels good. That's not tiny nefesh. That's a tiny prati, or this aver feels good. A person understands something. So you understand it till now you were mixed up and you understood it. Anybody understands something is going to have a certain enlightenment. They'll have a real enlightenment with it. That's not a bitach tiny nefesh. That's a tiny prati. That's chatchila tiny prati. There's a keach prati which is going to enjoy a certain inyan prati. Then I'm saying something else. Ratzon is from the cool over here is there's the pshitas nefesh. Right? There's the keches. We're trying to bring out here. There's the pshitas nefesh. The nefesh weighs more pshit from the tzir prati. And from this pshitas nefesh, there's two efanim. Then there's keches prati which are not about tzir. There's two efanim in the yachas of the pshitas nefesh to the tzir, to the keches prati. One efan that the pshitas nefesh is sheilat on the tzir, and one efan that the pshitas nefesh he's their mahus, he's their chayis, he's their inyan.
So the Kovetz problem of the chul has some to the time
Pnimis Inyanim is a tanig nefesh, that's true. But their geder chitzeni is not. The tanig is a tanig of a nefesh which is the pshitas nefesh. Say that dugman just this is more of a it's brother of mine actually that you say that someone was once running for his life and someone was running for his life and he was and he went through a hole. Then when he's going to go back to go through that opening there, he was no way that he was able to do it. When inside the tzakonas nefashis, so his guf was was nitzamtzim itself in a eifin that regularly he wouldn't be able to constrain himself at kadei. So there is one, the guf, the coil, it's a together the guf itself. You're not able to pressure yourself to the extent to be mamish in this small comes. But it's mamish, the whole life is in danger. So the guf is a chamayit. So b'chitzeni is the guf is mamayit itself. But that's not what shlita. In order for it to live, it has to constrain itself. There's the gdarim chitzeni of Inyan, and then there's what's in Yoni Apnimi. There's seichel has different darim. The mahus of seichel and one answer together of seichel is that he gets tired after functioning for let's say a few hours. He gets tired. Someone's going to say, "Umbas b'shtet mahus of seichel is for the sake of getting tired." That's a tchuna. They say the guf is something which has a certain size and it can't go, and usually it can't compress itself to go to a small one. Is that the mahus of the guf? It's not the mahus of the guf. The mahus of the guf is to be alive. So for the sake of life, the guf had to compress itself beyond its medinas. So that's called through shlita, or that's fakir. It's his Inyan is derish. Erish derish. He wants to live. But life is beyond the gdarim chitzeinim of the guf. What I'm saying is, you have the pnimis of something is the tiny hanefesh, which is the pshitas nefesh. That's the mahus pnimis of the keches. That's the mahus pnimis. The keches go for keches prati. But what's in Inyan Apnimi? Inyan Apnimi is that in order to be mashal in the tiny nefesh, that's Inyan Apnimi. But tiny nefesh is blig vol. Tiny nefesh is not mugbal in the hagbalas of seichel. So b'shas the seichel is gonna function the way it is, the way it's nidash mitzat tiny nefesh. Is going to function Shloime did the backball of the keches. See, one of the Inyan of Leim, the person should always learn makam Shloime b'chavos, because when a person has geschmack in the Gemara that he's learning, so he's going to learn what Shloime erech hatzlacha that he would have learned mitzad atzmai. Keches mitzad atzmai has different agbalos, which Taina doesn't have these agbalos. B'shas the person is learning in a place where libi chavitz. So then the seichel is going to function according to the way the Taina is mechayv, which is going to be more than the mitzvah agbalos of seichel. That's going to be mitzat shlita, or because in Yoni Apnimi of Seichel is to be mashal tani genesh. They're saying there's not a gather of shlita. In Yoni Apnimi of Seichel is for the sake of the tani genesh, for the nefesh's geshmak, for the nefesh's life to be enhanced. That's in Yoni what Seichel is. In Yoni Apnimi of Seichel is not Seichel. In Yoni Apnimi of Seichel is the nefesh. Which nefesh? The nefesh hapashut. That's in Yoni Apnimi of Seichel. Okay, this much it's more to clarify the inner a little bit. But al derech, like you're going to say that, let's say, there's regular Ashba Pnimis. Ashba Pnimis, like a Rabbi Talmud, let's say. So in order for the Talmud is one Meir, the Rabbi is a higher tag. In order for the Talmud to understand the Svara that the Rabbi is saying, the Rabbi has to be mitzamtzim himself and masber in a way that's masim to the Megal. That's you have the Elyon is an Inyan Prati, certain Svara, Inyan Mugbal. And in order for this Inyan to be understood by the Mekabel, he has to lower himself down and be related to the Mekabel. That's one. Others you have the Keich HaNefesh, you have the Keich HaSeichel and the Meir. Keich HaSeichel is the Prati. The Meir is again a certain Hebrew Prati. So only a certain the ruchnis, the gashmish of the ruchnis of the keich is mislavish and the ruchnis of the gashmish of the Hebrew. The keich itself, kameshu in the nefesh, can't be mislavish of the Hebrew. The Hebrew is not a keli for the keich and nefesh the way it is ruchnis used. The keich hariyah ruchnis is shalei be'eref and mislavish and ayin. So there's the gashmish of the ruchnis mislavish and ruchnis of the keich. So this brings us all to the basically yes. You need the chitzein is a keich. That's a regular ashpa pnimis. Where the Elyon is a double prati, the Tachton is a double prati. In order for the Elyon to be nigish in the Tachton, he has to come in a way that suits the Tachton. He has to come with Ferach Tachton. That's one thing. Then you have Rotzen, which Rotzen is the Elyon is not mitzvah himself, but he's a Shabbat. He's taken not in such a case. He's taken not the Tachton doesn't absorb him. He's bottled. It's a different story, but the Tachton doesn't absorb. Then you have an eifin of the way the Chayis is nimshach in the Guf. The Nebush Mechai the Guf, Chayis itself, say the Guf is Basar V'dam. Is there any edech between Chayis and Nefesh, life, to the Basar V'dam? There's no edech at all. So how is Lepoil, how is Chayis Mechai the Guf? Is the Pshat is that the Chayis is Derech Shlita? It's not Derech Erpnimi. It's not that the Chayis is mitzamtzim in a eifin that the Basar is able to handle. Chayis is mitzamtzim the way the Basar is able to handle. There's no edech between Chayis and Ashtik Flesh. But there, on one hand, the Chayis is far more mufshid than Rotzen. Rotzen is a true of Rotzen. A true of Teikev, whatever the actor of Rotzen is. Chayis is the Nebush itself. And the Nebush itself is not mitzamtzim himself in the Chayis the Guf. The Guf, in the Guf is Bifra Chayis. That's in Skabel Pnimis. The Guf itself becomes a Derech Chayis. It's not a Shpova Derech Makif. The Guf itself is a living thing. How does that work? There's different parts because there it's not the pshat that it's not that there's a tachton which is one thing. There's no flesh, and if it would be there was flesh and a nefesh, then or there's no way for the nefesh to be established in the flesh unless it's a tzimtzum. We're saying lechatchila, what's the psara of it? The psara it's not flesh. It's a part of a living being. In Yoni Pliny of the Guf is nefesh. It's a different story. Its mahus is not basar. Its mahus is nefesh, not basar. If that's its mahus, so that's lechatchila its mahus. It's not. The Elyon is not mitzamtzum if you add the tachton. If there's a tachton which is a mitzvah b'fnei atzmi outside of the Elyon, then the only way for the Elyon to be nimshach the tachton is if he's mitzamtzum himself, or if he would derech makif, he's going to break him. He'll be beyond him. Here, lechatchila the tachton, the chitzenis of the tachton is that he's basar b'atzamis. What's in Yanei Apnimi of this shtick of flesh? In Yanei Apnimi is that he's a part of the nefesh ha'olam, that the nefesh has a guf. That's the chatchila. There's no mitzias of a guf outside of the fact that he's a part of the nefesh ha'olam. You understand the meaning? And I'm saying, you see what Keches Leivarim, the time of HaNefesh is the same blikvol as Ratzin, and a deeper element of blikvol than Ratzin. Because Ratzin is the way the Pshitas HaNefesh is in the Tnu of Gilui. It's Ratzin, it's Deirish. But Shegen Tainig HaNefesh, that's Pnimius HaNefesh. In was likt. But the Tainig HaNefesh, that's the Pnimius, the Ratchila. What are in Yanam HaLekeches? His Tzir Chitzeni is that he's Seichel. He's Seichel, he's Midas. What's in Yanam HaPnimi? To contribute to the Tainig HaNefesh. That's the Chatchila what their meaning is. Why does the Nefesh have Seichel HaMidas? To begin with. The Chatchila in Yana is a Seichel for the sake of the previous HaNefesh.
So what does it mean that Tainig is Poil on Kovetz?
It's like not together at all. What I'm saying is that there is this the Gedolim of the Keches. Keches Pnimim are Dvarim on bottom. So there's there together. And then there is when they function mitzad the Tainig. Not always is the Keches functioning mitzad the Tainig. Not always is Meir the Sekudah of the Keches, the way they are mitzad the Tainig. The Inyan Pnimim of the Keches is Tainig. What I'm saying is when the Keches function mitzad the Tainig and Nefesh. When a person is when his Tainig he's learning because the Tainig and Nefesh wants to learn. You're saying is because you're not in one thing is or because that's your chesed. Saying someone's being misasik, let's say, B'nai, let's say. So the reason why that's beyond seichel is because that's where his nefesh is chayes is for his kids, let's say. And he's going to be misbainin b'sichlei in order he'll be up nights and try to find ways in order to save his kid. The drisha to be up nights, that's not neveah mitzad seichel, that's neveah mitzad previous nafshe. But if his taina got previous nefesh is a son, so then it's not going to be an eifin of shvira as I say. That will be the seichel is going to feel that's its life. It's going to be expanded by this. In Yonah, seichel will be there. The seichel itself, the tamanim, Suzanne Lefshaz. He won't be tired. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's a dogma. If someone's koch, let's say, the whole kind of Ganesh is his bed. And then Mashit Tangansel, if someone's whole life is Bnei. His whole mitzvah is not Mismakman. His whole chayas and whole time of nafshi is Bnei. And then when he's being misasik, let's say that the eichos of this askus is not mukbal according to when keches premium or derish. This person learns because the seichel is derish to learn. If he doesn't learn, the seichel is going to get mold. It's going to get old and moldy. So in order to, people exercise their hands because they want their muscles to maintain their muscles. The person is learning in order for the keich haseichel to function. He's scared he's going to get the face. Then people are worried that they're going to turn 80. Their mind's not going to work. So they learn every day now for 20 minutes a day. Let's say. I'm not saying Louis is one of them. So then, what's the drisha? Why they learn? It's a what suchen they learn. It's a the keich they're looking to learn. Then there is a mensch learned not because of his keich, because that's where his tiny nefesh is. Why would I have a good dogma in the Gabidisin in Gufa? What I'm saying is, but someone's being misasik in Inyan because his tiny nefesh is. Likt his whole koch is mei chine in a koch. And that eighth in the seichel is not b'derech ratz, not b'derech shvira, not b'derech shlita. The seichel itself is going to be alive and everything will verstehen. So we never had such an experience. That's basically it. Huh? We bought him out late in camp. No? This is good to do. No, I'm saying is you're not married to Shmuchal Da'if. You have no good advice for this. Huh?
You gotta get smacked when you do.
Yeah, but Shmuchal when you do, that's the whole time of the case.
Smack is a little bit racist. You know what I'm saying? Talking you to feel awake now.
Yeah. Amitis Advarim is the mensch learned, that's his time again. Sie steht in Maamar. The team is a tiny of the evil state. Anyways, this is not Zayn. But you see the Lashon over here. Kivan Shatainik, who are Primis Vachayas, Takeres, Evarim Atzma. Tainik is their Primis, is their Chayas. It's not, Tainik is Tainik, we're talking about Tainik of Pshitas Hanefish. But he's their Primis. Means, what's in Yonah Primis of Sid? B'shvil Tainik Hanefish. In order to contribute to the person's life, to his gishmak, to his cup. That's in Yoni, it's his bisharis. That's chatchilu what seichel is. In order to contribute to the person's life. In Yoni, if seichel is not to fulfill my ratzin. In Yoni, if seichel is to fulfill, invest the nefesh kovetz, what his life is all about. That's in Yoni, a premium seichel. So the chena pula shenasim with their tainuk, you lay up the shit of the hechach, heim atzam nasim ka. B'shas, a gewisse Sache, manchmal sagt der Tainuk, so they alone will this. They alone become that way.
Really, the pull of the conscious is always previous always inside the mind, but it's not beginning. It's only beginning. It's still to the tzir what the time.
I'm saying that a person can function not based on his tiny nefesh. That's what I'm saying. The people, they spend their days. They eat, I don't know, people eat breakfast and then they eat lunch and then they do things in the middle. It's not that's not a time which is the previous nafsh. People they're not anywhere. I'm saying a person eats his people are entertained. Let's say entertained at that moment, so people you forget about what you're monachim. There's something outside of you that the Kaplan should feel good at that moment. That's not mitzvah tani v'nefesh. That's not this. Them kochters. People if someone can be entertained for an hour, why is he going to feel disgusting after? He feels empty after. He didn't do something which is behessen to previous nafshit. It's nicht durchgeführt mit was kocht sich. The penny felt good for 2 minutes. That's a chitzenistic feeling good. That's feeling like you say a person smells something and he feels good. The keich prati felt good. That's not that the nefesh has sich abgelegt. The nefesh has sich abgelegt. Then there's was erle, was kocht, and that's the pneumonia pneumonia is good. And in that eifin, b'shas and said einiger nefesh and once upon this is even though it's not going to be according to the medida v'agbol of the keiches. But Ava Bikain, it's not going to be in a way that they're going to be broken. Ze'alin buildings. That will be their gishmak. That will be their chayes. It's not behesed to their tzir necessarily, but it will be their chayes, it will be their gishmak. So the Rebbe is saying is, to a certain extent, Ratzin is a pu'ula. We say Ratzin is doing something against the status quo. Mitzad tachten has to be one way, and the Ratzin is going against what's Mischayv in the Tachtin. Avada is there because the Ratzin is a Shabbat. But the Rebbe is saying, what's the nature of the relationship between the Elyon and the Tachtin? The nature is the Elyon changes the Tachtin. That's called pu'ula. Even though this change, it's not to work. It's not a question of does he have to strain himself and do this change. The relationship is a relationship that the Tachtin is different than the Elyon, and the Elyon has the ability to change the Tachtin. But the Ratzin automatically shed. It's not like that. You don't have to activate and to bring. The Ratzin is going to have to work to bring. That's by nature the Ratzin is shalat on the Yibor. But the nature of the Yachas of the Ratzin to the Kefes is that they're changed because of the Ratzin. Mashiach Tainik doesn't change anything. Tainik, that's their chayes. So Tainik is not being poiled anything. He's not being mishan anything. Ze'alin berens. Tainik is their previous. So in a certain way, Tainik is not a pool. But in the case of Tainik is yet a pool. That's the reason we go. That's the. Let's see the Nimshah. Let's see the Nimshah. Well, there's the side of Maamar Chazal, beautiful Maamar Chazal. So there's all the mind that Shini Kavi Ochshan Asa Badagid Ishtashos. Adi Am Shachat Chitzeni Isa Kesser Shem Shach Zadei Tzadikim. What's the Shini? Hagam Shmitzat Chines HaIshtashos. Yesh Nugzeir Shaloi Ti Am Shachas Hashpa. Tzadik Dorom Ishtashos. Can't be a certain Hashpa. But the Isha Tzadik Am Shach Ratzon Chodesh Mai Kesser Shem Alam Ishtashos Mizbatel Isakzeir. So they say the Tacht. The Keir Tzadik Keir says Ein Tzad Ratzon is something else. Who wait for the Shlitum Am Shol Tzadik Meishol Yiras Elikim. Sharatz Loban Ishtashos Shelut Meishol Ishtashos. That's one. That's the lashon Chazal. Tzadik Meishol Yiras. The Rebbe had the lashon before. Tzadik Geyser. What's the lashon? Not Tzadik. What's the Chazal by Tzadik Meishol Yiras? No, that's the Rishon. Tzadik. Yeah, Tzadik. Yeah. Tzadik what? That was again this part. Mashiach a bit like Zeir. Whereas the Rebbe said Chines Hashem Zadei Hashem. Primis HaKesser. The Shalom believe the Shlita of Kiddush. That Primis HaKesser. What Primis HaKesser? Chinad Amshos, Primis Ratzin V'Atainu, Sharatzin Shom, and Primis HaKeser, the Ratzin, the Tainu, Primi V'Lokosid, the Shebegila L'Kosh, the Ashpa. Bit like Zeru Gam, it's a Teshtash Lozov. I don't understand really this is a